I think that there are two laws or theories that have kind of governed how mobile and e-commerce got to where it is today. The first of those is Moore's Law. I feel that I have lived through Moore's Law. You may recall Gordon Moore was an American who worked for Fairchild Semiconductor. In the mid-60s, he and two friends left there and formed a little company called Intel, which made chips. And in 1965, Gordon Moore observed that the power of the microprocessor would double every year, just by observing that as you put more and more transistors onto an integrated circuit, you could pack about twice as many each year. The law was later revised to double every 18 months, but if you look back over the 50 years since he proclaimed it, about every 18 months, the power of that microprocessor has doubled. And you may say, big deal, what does that mean? Well, when I was a lad at IBM, I would sell a mainframe that would be the size of this stage. It would be about £20 million, $25 million. It would need air conditioning. And I sold storage devices that attached to it. I remember the first storage device I sold would have been about the size of one of these tables, about that height. And the first one I sold had half a gigabyte of storage on it. And that cost $100,000, £62,000. And if you think what Moore's Law has done, what was packed into that big storage device, you can now get 50 times that storage on something the size of that thumbnail, and you can buy it on Amazon today for about $15. So Moore's Law has brought about this incredible miniaturization. It has brought this incredible miniaturization, this incredible power, this incredible reduction in cost and in price. And effectively, the smartphone that you've got in your pocket today has probably got the equivalent of about the power of 400 IBM PCs when it was first launched. And so Moore's Law has been great. It's opened up lots of opportunities, lots of product areas, but it's also been very cruel. A number of companies have been unable to keep up with it, and they've fallen by the wayside. And that brings me to Darwin. Darwin in 1859 wrote The Origin of the Species. And if you read The Origin of the Species, what Darwin tells us is it's not the fastest or the strongest of the species that survives, it's the most adaptable. And nowhere do you see that more than in business. When I look back again at my IBM days, some of the companies that were the competitors then just don't exist anymore. Burroughs, Honeywell, Control Data. And then the mid-range come along, and you have companies like Digital and Data General and Tandem, and they've all gone by the wayside. And then the PC era saw software companies and browser companies like Netscape, and then Compaq, and that's gone as well. And then broadening it out, MySpace was meant to be the great social network, and it's disappeared. Think about Kodak, one of the most lustrous companies on the planet, and it's now just a hodgepodge of patents. BlackBerry. Then I think about the retail industry, and even here in the UK, we've seen Woolworths, Comet, BHS, HMV, all disappear over the past 3 or 4 years. So the road to digital disruption is littered with the carcasses of some once great beasts. And probably the most spectacular is Nokia. Back in 2000, Nokia's market capitalization peaked at about $222 billion. At that time, it was 30 times the size of the Apple Corporation. Roll forward 11 years, the arrival of the smartphone, the fact that Nokia missed it, and Apple is now $760 billion. It's 75 times the size of Nokia. And Nokia ends up being a clutch bag of patents and handset designs that were bought by Microsoft. And so you've seen an industry giant disappear off the face of the earth because it never saw the transitions coming. So Moore's Law gave us the technology, but Darwin's about behavior, it's about adaptability.